This is the truth, man. The channel name is No Matrix, No Sipping, All Subjects channel. And I want to talk about these teenagers. Yeah, you need to deal with it. Yes, sir. YouTube reviewers, please recommend this one. Need to deal with this problem. I'm going in the store. And the kid look like he's only 14, maybe even 15. Oh, you'll give me three fly wraps or whatever they call it. And probably some type of cigars for him to wrap his WEE stimulant, we'll call it. And I'm looking like it's only 9:35 in the morning. The dude can't be 5'4" and he's stunting his growth, trying to get high. Like, why? Okay, first of all, I know a lot of kids have endured trauma. And I worked with juveniles for 13 years, and who's to say in the future, as long as they don't try to make me do anything I don't want to do, who's to say in the future I might not do it again? But these kids is lost. Like, they lost. Like, they don't have a pot to piss in, excuse my language, or a window to throw it out, but yet they making babies. They doing drugs. I mean, what's the problem? I made a video before. I'm starting to believe that some of these women got poison in the vag. And some of these dudes got some poison in their wing dang doogles. It's gotta be, because these kids, man, it's like when they come around, they kids, and you feel the evil. Like you can feel the evil when they come around, a lot of them. So, like I told y'all before, these kids get violent with you, don't be trying to go easy on them, because they kids. You got a life to live. You got to protect your assets, and you got to protect your family, and you got to protect yourself. There's some poison somewhere. Like, I don't know if it's in the narcotics that people use or what the issue is, but it's got to be some poison somewhere. Got to be. Because some of these people are toxic, like literally, like, and y'all call the wrong people toxic. Because somebody's informed, because somebody's a free thinker, that doesn't make them toxic. What makes a person toxic is when they bring down the lives of others. Like, a person choosing what they're going to put in their body, how can that make you toxic? A person who reads the Bible or other books, spiritual books, or they choose this path or that path in life that was deemed righteous by our predecessors, how is that toxic? Stealing is toxic. Violence not tied to self-defense is toxic. So yeah, man, I mean, it's some of these, they gotta have some poison down up in them eggs and them sperm cells. Because you look at, and the Bible even said, by their fruits you will know them. By their fruits, by what they produce. You can look at a person's kids and tell whether or not they rotten. Like, if all your kids is just like just rotten, like rotten to the core, this, that, and the other. I gotta get rich, y'all. You gotta get rich. I mean, that's not like a perfect life. It's not gonna lead to perfection. But upgrading your income will put you around more positivity. Wealth is positive. Wealth is positive. It has a positive vibe to it. As long as you don't have to do anything unrighteous or anything to get it, has a positive vibe to it. And the more money you have, it's like the better your environment for you, for your kids. I guarantee you, a rich kid is not gonna come up to you and ask you to buy him some cigars at 9 in the morning. He's gonna more than likely be at school, or he's more than likely gonna be homeschooled, or something of that positive nature. 9 times out of 10, they have their share of issues too. But I can't see like what Coach Greg Adams and others call a blue chipper. The kids of a blue chipper coming up to somebody, hey, could you buy me a Black and Mild? Or what's the chances of them watching your house and waiting for you to leave to break in it? Or what's the chances of them stealing your car? They're blue chippers. They can go buy 5 of your cars. They can get their parents, hey, Dad, I'm ready to start driving. Learn how to drive. Here, son, take the keys to the Yukon. Take the keys to this. Take the keys to that. See, it's some poison somewhere, y'all. It's some poison because in my mind, it's like my decisions, like I look at the future too, and I look at how can this benefit my kids. See, a lot of people like another YouTuber, I'm not going to say his name, but I mean, he makes some good points too. He said that you can't pass down a job. You just can't. You can't, and he's right. Like the guy is right, man. Like a while back, the reason why I don't want to say his name, because a while back, I don't know what happened. I think possibly another YouTuber told him something that I might have mentioned, because they talking points were in disagreement. And I was like, hey, go see what you think about this. And ever since that time, like he was cool at first, but ever since that time, he started acting different. So I'm not going to say his name. But he was right about that. You can't pass down a job. If you want to look out for your kids, you're going to have to own something, build something, produce something, write something. Or guess what? Your kids are going to go to school with that kid. And what if your kids are just nice little kids? They don't want to fight, undersized sometimes. Just mind their own business. It's kids like that that'll bother. That'll have them not even wanting to go to school. See, forget about color. What's best for you and your kids? Forget about having to be around certain people. What's the best area, the best life, the best schools that you can give your kid? Forget about slavery. You don't even know all the details to that. That was way more deeper than you thought, and it wasn't as bad in some ways as you think. So stop trying to tie yourself to struggles and start trying to make it in life so your kids won't have to deal with that. Like my kids, how do my daughter know the sound of gunshots? Like, she's supposed to think they're firecrackers or they're this or that. She knows the sound of gunshots. Why? Because of poor people. And it's nothing wrong. Like if you end up, you just got to fight your way up. I don't hate them, but I just hate the lifestyle that's tied to most of them. They're just mad at everybody. So they're going around wreaking havoc, recruiting people for their evil. And your kids get caught up in this sometimes. Reckless driving, kids get hit by cars. Shots come through houses hitting kids. I have no SYSBM. I'm not tying myself to that. I'm fighting, I'm clawing, I'm scratching. And people will try to judge you where you are. If you have financial problems, if you file bankruptcy, if you going through something, if you got an eviction letter, don't let people keep you in that place. Fight and claw your way out and get your kids in a better environment. And stop trying to tie yourself to the negativity of this color right here. The music, the negative music. You can listen to rap, but why you gotta listen to rap? This gonna create even more problems if people carry out what they talking about. If you can't handle listening, you really shouldn't listen. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Like sometimes when I play shooter games, this, that, and the other, and when I'm out at night, sometimes I might want to get in a certain mindset, protection mode. But why do you feel that let me give you an example. A lot of people will say stuff like, here, I've heard people say that here in Milwaukee. Man, I can't take that job. That'll mess up my stamps. But yet I see white people in the suburbs, and sometimes I just look out the corner of my eye just to see. They rarely get stamps. Like I've seen them paying $200 something, $300 something for food. But you want to be on the same level as them. Why don't you put yourself on the same level? Instead of trying to make them give what they earn to you. Like I can see, like I said, sometimes we get in trouble. You got to rely on programs, but don't rely on them your whole life. The programs are there. That's why you'll never hear me saying straight Republican ticket. I might vote like that, but I don't want them to have everything, because then they will possibly make it harder for poor people. Poor people need to stop making it hard for themselves. And if you don't make it hard for yourself, but you need help, go get the help. Go get the help, but in your mind, know that it's only temporary. Know that it's only temporary and treat it like it's temporary. But a lot of people, I'm telling you, you're not all brothers. There's white guys. There's people in every race that I would consider brothers before some of these, because they don't do nothing but cause problems. People you still talking about the Ku Klux Klan? I call it Black Klux Klan in some areas. Well, let me get off fair use. I only mention the group. I don't support the group. I don't have any riotous desires. I'm only mentioning the group. But I mean, it's just something to think about. Like I said, a lot of these women and these guys, if you producing poison, people need to stay away from you. You don't have no sexual prowess. We don't call it PAP. Maybe we should call it PAP. Poison, fill in the blanks. Make a song, dancing and stuff, talking about you destroying the community, you got that poison. Poison. Stealing cars, smoking, doing all this drugs, breaking in houses, breaking in cars, bullying other kids at school. You can't even live like I knew a long time ago, not to say that my relatives would do it, but when I saw that shift in these teenagers, I said, I'll never let them come nowhere past the door. They ain't going. If anywhere they go, I'm going to be right there watching. It's poison, man. Just poison. Do something about that. While you talking about making people do this, making people do that, why don't you do something about the poison that's in these communities? Milwaukee, Chicago, St. Louis. Why don't you do something about the crime? Why don't you put, if you got to put cameras on every light that zoom in on all of our faces? Why are you getting drones to spy on people just because they don't think like you? Instead of getting drones, if you're going to use drones, why don't you use drones to stop crime? because you want crime. Because at the end of the day, all of this stuff is about revenge for the wayward wife of God. And I ain't trying to go too deep. A lot of y'all ain't ready for that. You're not ready for that. But I'm just mentioning the root of all of these issues is revenge. To keep the people that the Most High created lost and separated from him forever. And what's the ways to do it? The poison. Throwing poison in these communities. These guys got poison in they sacks. These women got poison in their eggs. And you dance. You dance. You talking loud. You talking about sports. You talking about sports and your kids is poison. Come on now. Your kids is poisoning the community. You produce them. You put them out there. And I want you dudes who think you so big, you know what I'm talking about, and think you so good with the Wang Dougal, you think you all that, but yet you don't take care of your kids, you're not fighting to produce. Now, everybody have, like I say, people have issues and problems, but how are you fighting to produce money for your kid, or you a punk? Oh, she won't let me see my kid. You're using that as an excuse because you too busy chasing women to see your kids. Let me ask you something. What do you spend more time with? Trying to get sexual fulfillment? Trying to get sexual validation? Or trying to make a future for your kids that you don't produce? Trying to spend time with your kids. Now, if you work a lot, that means that some of that other stuff, you have to cut that out. And when you're at home, that's the time you need to be playing video games and doing this and doing that, tucking your kids in and whatever else you got to do, can do. You can't give sexual validation from these females. They're going to tell you great until they don't like you no more. You can't get sexual fulfillment. You just can't. So why are you wasting time? Like, you producing poison. Poison. You putting kids out here that's destroying the community. They walking up and down the street, messing with people they don't even know. And then as soon as somebody punch them in their eye or do something, here you come. You shouldn't have produced the poison. You should have sat them down. Look, my kids, I'm not bragging on my kids, but what's the chances of my kids going out here being poisonous in the community? Slim to none. You know why? Because for one, I'm not a poisonous guy. Like, I went through my little wannabe tough guy, thug phase in the past. But even while that's going on, sometimes it comes down to who you are as a person. And you look at my family tree. You look at when you get from what my father produced on down, that whole jail thing, you're not seeing it. You're not seeing much of it now. Who's to say, because it's some poison that crept in there. I'm not going to talk down on no guys, but some poison done crept in there, and hopefully my father's bloodline will continue, and there won't be no jail and all this stuff. What I did in the past, that had nothing to do with him. That was just me trying to be part of what I was seeing at the time on the movies, on the TV, the music. I was living it out. But I was never like a poison guy. And you just look at my kids. By their fruits, you'll know them. Some of y'all, you walking through, taking pictures in the mirror in the bathroom, throwing it on Facebook, thinking you this, thinking you that. You ain't seen your kids in 2 years. You ain't spent 5 days with your kids, and your kids is becoming poison. Poison to the community. Then some of y'all women, you just swear, well, I need a man to do that. I need a high value man. Look at your offspring. Look at your offspring. Look at your kids. In and out of jail, messing with everything and everybody. You don't need nothing. You need to go and sit down somewhere. And if you can't get your kids right, get them off the street. Get them where they either in jail or send them, do something. Don't produce no more poison. The women that would produce decent kids in society, they ain't even having babies. It's the ones that look. I hate working with them on this delivery tip. Oh, I don't like this food. Oh, I'm finna give them a bad rate. Like I made the food. I just delivered it. Oh, I'm finna give him a bad rating. I don't like how he pulled off from in front of my house. Yep, and you know what I do? I know the areas that a lot of these be in, right? Pew! I go somewhere else. Bye-bye. See if you can find me. Oh, and you better hope I'm not the only one out here. Urbanized, angry at the world, trying to take it out on me. With my businesses of delivery, not gonna happen. You'll get one chance to do it, but then when you do it, you're gonna mess it up for everybody that even live around you. That's why I try to stay in certain areas. This video done got too long. I'm gonna get off of here. This is the truth, man. Just talking a little bit about the teenagers and how these parents must got poison in their bodies. Good day.